We got a little bit of an update on this whole Louie Castro, Adam Ray OK, Lucas story. If you guys don't recall, a couple weeks ago, I did make a video talking about this whole situation, which I did say within that video, okay, y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. A lot of times I get so damn scared to speak my real opinion because I'm just kind of like, I'm gonna get canceled. People are gonna start talking shit to me, and then I'm gonna want to fight back in the comments, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. So I'm like, let me like walk on eggshells, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, this is my channel, and I do have to remember that my opinion is my opinion, and that's just it, okay? Also, too, I do feel like a lot of times people feel like when you make commentary videos, they feel like they like have to agree with everything, or else, yeah, I don't agree, I'm gonna unfollow, and it's like, it's really not that deep. Like, hey, we may agree on this one thing, and we may not agree on the next thing, and it's totally fine. We could still be friends, you know what I mean? But I feel like a lot of people are, like really one-tracked mind, and that's a little scary sometimes, to be quite honest with you guys. Like, y'all, I have disagreed with my friends numerous amounts of times, and guess what? I thought about their perspective, and I thought about their opinions. I'm like, well, I could see where you're coming from. However, I still feel the way I feel, or I still think the way I think. Do you know what I'm saying? I was scared to say my opinion within that video because I am somebody, if y'all are on my lives, y'all know I stay going to WeHo. Yes, I know. People are like, oh my God, bitch, you're too old to be going to WeHo because you're 35. Let me tell you this, go on a Sunday, okay? Sunday is more for older people. Like, if you go out there on a Friday or Saturday, yes, you're going to get the young crowd, the 21-year-olds, you know, probably to like, I don't know, maybe up to 30 or whatever. And I kind of feel like, oh, damn, I'm approaching midlife, okay? So sometimes I do feel a little bit like, oh, damn, maybe I should stop going to WeHo, but I have the time of my life there, okay? Especially on a Sunday, because I'm like, oh, I actually like fit in because it is definitely an older crowd there. You know what I'm saying? So as somebody who frequents there, I know the stories as far as like the phones getting stolen, as far as, roofies being slipped into drinks and things like that. So when this guy Lucas had came out with his story and was, I'm gonna say, alluding. Obviously, he didn't say anybody's name, but everybody put piece by piece together because as soon as Lado had spoke out, which is Adam Ray OK's boyfriend, as soon as Adam Ray OK spoke out and Louis spoke out, obviously you could piece together the stories here, and it really did seem like he was alluding that someone from the group did slip something into his drink, which I thought was a very dangerous thing to do because he didn't even know if one of them did it. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's where it's like, whoa, you're getting into these actual criminal allegations and you don't even know the story, which, yes, obviously within that moment, he is like going through it in his brain of like, damn, I can't believe this happened. And I'm being told I did this and I'm being told I did that. And like everything is just a blur to him because obviously he was blacked out. I totally get that's how that's scary, but you really do have to be open-minded to anything could have happened. Do you know what I mean? Because if somebody slipped something into your drink, then you don't know where it came from, and then obviously it's like, whoa, like don't just start blaming people. Do you know what I mean? Because we are going to be talking about a clip that has been floating around TikTok, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm about a week late to this because obviously I pre-filmed my last videos and I saw this update and I was like, oh damn, like this makes a whole lot more sense. One thing too, okay, and I did want to mention this, is that I did say, I was like toxicology report, which I guess maybe toxicology is for like death. I don't know. I thought it would be like the same regardless. Somebody was saying that apparently he didn't even know if he had something in his system. I thought when he made his video, that's what those like papers were there for. I thought they were papers from the, or like lab results or something like that from the doctor that stated what was in his system. But people were saying that supposedly he was on live and like the nurse said like, oh no, there's no way for us to know like what was in your system or whatever. And I'm like, I'm a little bit confused because he had said that like he had this GHB in his system. So I'm like, I'm so lost on that. If you guys know any more details about this supposed live, please let me know. Trust and believe I scoured the internet, okay, because I really did want to see, because I saw several people, okay, not just one. I saw several people comment, no, the nurse had said on his live X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, well, where is this live? I guess maybe people were just watching it live. They didn't screen record it. I don't know. I just wanted to point that out there because a lot of people are now saying like, oh, nobody even knows if he was actually rugged. I feel so stupid saying shit like that. Like, yeah, I wish that we would get past the censorship. We obviously, if we're going to be talking about these type of topics, we have to be able to say the damn words. Do you know what I mean? Because I really do feel like as soon as you start making all these damn like code words for it, I feel like it takes away from the severity of it. Anyways, y'all, his best friend is coming out in his defense and is speaking out about it. I do want to say Lucas himself actually has not made a follow-up video about this whole entire situation. Before we get into her response, okay? And I guess this is just kind of like controversial, but I am so sorry, y'all. I am somebody, y'all know you know what's I am a person is what I was going to say, but scratch that, okay? Scratch that whole damn thing. If y'all had saw me during the pandemic, I feel like this is when I got really close to y'all. I was like, You guys are my club friends. You guys are my party friends. If y'all remember, if you guys have been on my channel since the pandemic, y'all know I'm an extrovert. Everyone and their mom on the internet is like, I'm an introvert. I'm an introvert. It's like the cool thing to be introverted. I'm like, no, I'm extroverted. I need to be out. I need to get out of the house. I need people interaction. I need to talk to people. I need to be around people. Okay. I'm not introverted. Okay. A bitch likes to talk. A bitch likes to get out and socialize. You know what I mean? So this is where I was like, during this time, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so hard. And y'all know that on live, like, yeah, I am a person who likes to go out. I like to drink. I've been around so many different scenarios that have happened before around so many of my drunk friends or so many drunk mutuals or so many drunk coworkers that we would go out with. You know what I'm saying? I've been through so many situations before to where a lot of people will, black out and then do something that they regret. And they're like, oh shit, like, oh, I can't believe I did this or said that. I think it's kind of unfortunate that this guy Lucas really didn't leave any room for, well, damn, I guess I could have just been acting some type of way, because y'all know when everything had came out and Louie had made his side of the story, which I'm sorry, like I fully believe Louie's side of the story because multiple people have said that they saw it. He came on to Louie. So I'm just kind of like, I totally get it. You do some things that you regret, but then you obviously do how to hold yourself accountable and be like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't put myself in this type of environment. Maybe I shouldn't, have any alcoholic beverages. Obviously, yes, it's being alleged that he was rugged. So I'm just kind of like, that could have obviously affected it too, but it could have also just been the alcohol. Let's go ahead and keep it real here. It could have just been the alcohol. And I have seen several people do things that are out of their characteristics. Alcohol makes you do that. I even said within that video before, I'm like, yo, I made out with a person that I was like, I do not find this man attractive whatsoever, and oh my god, he kept hitting me up after, and he was like, you're so into me, and I was like, I'm really not. I was like, I'm so sorry, sir, but I'm not. Like, I know, like, me was coming out apparently, and I was just like, no, not with you, no, like, y'all, I felt so stupid. But obviously you just do things that are just not within your normal characteristics. This is why a lot of people call it like the devil's juice, you know what I mean? So I'm just kind of like, we all have to leave a little bit of room there to take accountability for us, making our own decisions, because I had said obviously within that video when it came down to everything, like, Lotto, I'm sorry, like, looked super shady. Everyone was saying that he was the most sober of the bunch, that he was the one that was the most well composed, and I do think, it was beyond shady of him to make out with Lucas. But I'm sorry, okay, and I may get hate for this, but it's just the reality of the situation. Lucas came on to Louie, and that's been confirmed by countless people, okay? There was actually fans of Louie's and Adam's there who have saw it. They literally saw the whole thing happen to where Lucas was coming on to Louie. So I'm just kind of like, let's go ahead and say, what if Lucas was coming on to Lotto too? You know what I mean? This is where I say Lotto's completely in the wrong, because obviously it's like, you're in a whole ass relationship. Like, what are you doing cheating on your man? Yes, I understand maybe this fool was, like belligerent and completely out of it or whatever, and maybe he did come on to you, and maybe Lotto does find him attractive or something, but it's just kind of like, that's when you need to fight the temptation and be like, oh, no, like, I got a man. You know what I'm saying? But I want to say here, and you guys are going to see from the clip that I'm about to show, if YouTube lets me play it. Damn. Recently, y'all, oh my gosh, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to my edits within videos. Like, I've been filming my videos, editing them as I will, and I'll put the receipts in there like I normally do. And then YouTube would be like, oh, this is like a copyright strike, or no, this is too graphic or whatever. I'm like, oh my god. And then I have to take out the damn clip, which I'm like, y'all, it's like, it's a little scuffle. Do you know what I mean? Like, letting you guys know what you guys are about to see. It's literally a scuffle. Like, it's not even like a full-blown UFC fight. It's a scuffle between Lucas, Louie, and Fern, which Fern is Louie's boyfriend, okay? And I want to point this out, okay, because I think this is where this was very important, and this is where I think that Lucas needs to be a little bit more careful with his words and his allegations, because it could be very damaging to somebody's career, and I think that that's really fucked up. His shirt was ripped there from the fight, okay? If you guys remember his video, it was very long, so I'm not going to play it within this video. I played it in that last video that I first talked about this. I did 2 parts on it. You guys can go back to check that out, or you guys can go to Lucas's channel. Actually, I checked right before filming this. It's still up. He made it seem within that video that, like, his clothes were ripped off of him because he was taken advantage of. And you guys know what I'm getting at, okay? And that's where I'm like, your clothes were ripped because you got into a fight for trying to make out with Louie, and then Fern obviously was like, hold up, you know what I mean? So this is where I'm like, okay, as soon as you start seeing a little bit more bits and pieces here. Like, yes, like it does suck. Obviously, he's seeing this clip of him like making out with Lotto or whatever. And yes, he's probably like, oh, damn, like what the hell was I doing? Maybe he thought because it's not something that he would do sober, maybe he thought he was getting taken advantage of. But also, now that the facts have come out that you came on to Louie, why don't you be like, well, damn, I guess I was drunk and I was like coming on to Lotto too. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously his shirt was like already ripped from the fight. So you guys are going to see within this clip right here of the fight, it's like, oh, that's where his shirt gets ripped. And check out his original video, and it really did seem like he was alluding to the fact that someone SA'd him and that's why his shirt was ripped off. And I'm like, no, your shirt was ripped from the fight. Check out this clip right here. There y'all saw from right there the fight, and that explains why his shirt was ripped and why he was bruised. Everything within his video, honestly, and I understand, okay, he was probably scared and like, oh my gosh, like, y'all, I've actually only blacked out, like completely blacked out 2 times in my life. And one time my friends found me in a freaking alley, and in the morning I woke up in my friend's bed in my underwear, and I was like panicking. Like, I was panicking. I was like, oh my god, I don't remember a thing. I remember taking one last shot at my friend's apartment, and then I woke up back at that apartment with no freaking pants on, no shirt on. And y'all, I sleep with basketball shorts on and a t-shirt on all the time. Even when I was in a relationship with my ex and everything, I'm like, no, I'm a person that sleeps with a shirt on. So I was like, what the hell happened? Come to find out, though, I threw up on my clothes and my friend took them off of me. But anyways, I woke up panicking and scared. So I get where he's coming from. I understand that he was scared, but to like piece together a story and really allude to some things that happen, I don't know, y'all. That's kind of, I don't know, that's really damaging to me. I don't know. I obviously, of course, like I always want to, you know, believe people and their stories and whatnot, but this is where it's like, well, we do have to wait to form an opinion until we see some proof about things, because now seeing this fight, it's like, oh, that's where your bruises came from, that's where your ripped shirt came from, like, obviously, you know what I mean? And then obviously him, like, getting taken advantage of by Lotto, it's like, well, you were coming on to Louie, so who's to say you didn't do it? Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I don't ever want to be that person who's like, oh my god, I'm not believing the victim or whatever, but I'm just kind of like, let's look at the story here and let's look at all the proof and look at everything that has happened. It's kind of like, you're blaming your shirt being ripped because you got taken advantage of, but then it came out, no, it got ripped open because you got into a fight. Like, come on. Anyways, I do want to go ahead and play this next clip right here from his best friend, okay? And once again, like, I hope I'm tiptoeing about everything, because yes, obviously, hey, maybe some more things may come to light after, and maybe I may switch my opinion, you know what I'm saying? So I do always leave room for that, which I know this day and age in social media, I have really realized that people are kind of cuckoo, y'all. Like, I have realized, like, say for example, if you talk about a story that's breaking news and you make the video and you're like, oh damn, this is like super shady or whatever. Like, when I made a video, this was a while ago, but I made a video talking about Glam Light and they had a customer service issue or whatever, and at first I was like, this is really messed up, like Glam Light needs to do better. And then they hit me up and they sent me all the actual receipts. I was like, oh, hell no. I was like, oh my gosh, this girl literally like lied about the damn thing and made it seem so much worse than it was. And I made a follow-up video and I was like, that's my bad. I obviously jumped the gun, saw what I saw, and now I have all the actual receipts. So my opinion changed. Do you know what I mean? So this is where I'm like, okay, people need to realize there's always room to change your damn opinion, because obviously if new facts come out, you're going to change your opinion, okay? So his friend did come out, because like I said, he's been silent on social media since making that video, and a lot of people, I'm gonna keep it real with you guys, a lot of people are saying very mean things within his comments, because obviously as soon as everyone's starting to see the story unfold, it's kind of looking like he jumped the gun to assumptions here and to alluding that people did something that they didn't do, you know? So a lot of people are talking shit to him, but I do obviously want to give a little bit of grace here that he's very young, and I'm sure this has never happened to him before, you know. Let's say for example, if he really did get roofied, and or even if he was just fully blacked out, like to just black out like that, it's just kind of like, damn, you know. You guys are going to hear actually his friend says like, oh, he's a 6'4" guy, like he's not gonna black out from 4 shots, which I do agree with. Like, y'all, I'm 6'2", 255 pounds, okay, 4 shots is not gonna black me out. So I'm just kind of like, I get where she's coming from, but regardless, I don't know, I still wouldn't be assuming and alleging all these things towards people, you know what I mean? But that's my little 2 cents. Anyways, I do want to read one thing though before getting into it, just that way you guys don't have to stop to pause the video. because the whole thing had came out too that his phone was like missing and things like that, and I guess Louie was holding on to it. But you guys will well, you guys actually saw already that clip earlier. He dropped his phone, and that's how his phone cracked. Okay, so this is it right here. Louie shipped his phone saying a car ran it over. It would have been flat, not bent, babe. He was holding Lucas's belongings. Why was only his damaged and missing? He still don't have his wallet. I think Fern broke it out of anger. You guys saw within that first clip there that it did fall straight like on its face. You know what I mean? This is where I say I don't know, like I don't know. Some things to me are a little bit damaging. Do you know what I mean? So also too, you guys see the back of the phone or whatever. I don't know necessarily if it would like be that, you know, broken, and maybe her speculation is true about Fern, but you guys saw from the clip, it literally did fall, so it's just kind of like there. Also, a lot of people were saying too that like because Louie is like rich, that like I guess apparently they were kind of like getting at like he should have bought him a phone. But this is where I was like, okay, you guys, I'm so sorry. People are out of their minds sometimes, okay? This guy Lucas came onto Fern, obviously, or sorry, came onto Louie. Obviously, at the time, nobody knew that he was allegedly rugged. You know what I mean? So obviously, in Fern's head, he's thinking, "What the hell? This fool's coming onto my man." He gets into an altercation with him. Obviously, at this whole entire time, like things are looking bad to Fern and to Louie. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it looked like this guy Lucas was coming on to him. Do you really think somebody's gonna go out of their way to like buy him a new phone? Because people were like, Louie's rich, he should have bought him a new phone. I'm like, what? That's not his responsibility to buy him a new phone. I don't know, y'all. I feel like a lot of people sometimes, I'm like, this is how you could tell that you've never been around a group of friends, you've never been out to a bar, you've never been in a situation similar to this, because it's kind of like, okay, shit like this happens, you know, quite often when things like this happen. So that's why I'm just kind of like, it's really not like, I'm sorry, but if I was like in Louis' shoes, I don't think I would buy him a new phone either. You know what I mean? Like I'm just kind of like, well, fuck, like we got into a fight. You know what I mean? You dropped it, and here it is. You know, maybe you could claim an insurance claim on it. You know what I mean? Anyways, check out this clip right here from Lucas's alleged best friend.
He's not gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it. That night, those couples, except for one, were all touching on Lucas that night. Yeah, it wasn't just. It was three of them, except for one. It is so visible when somebody is drunk and somebody is not in their senses anymore. So at that point, you can't blame anything. Look, Louis said that they all took 4 shots that night. How in the hell is a 6'4" man gonna be drunk off of 4 shots? Be fucking for reals, bro. And one of the evidence, his friend is saying that the guy that dropped him off looked completely sober, like sober-ish. I don't know, completely sober, but bro, you're in your senses, right? So you have Lucas pinned on a bar, and his head is visibly like wobbling, and you still choose to make out with them. Like, what?
She also said Louis shipped his phone saying a car ran it over, but it would have been flat, not bent, babe. He was holding Lucas's belongings. Why was only his damaged and missing? He still didn't have his wallet. I think Fern broke out of anger, to be honest. With all that money, poor thing. Y'all could have bought him another one, lol.
There y'all heard right there her side of the story. I don't know. I'm curious to know if like more things are gonna come to light. You guys are probably not gonna see this video actually till like 4 days later, because I am currently pre-filming and I do already have videos already scheduled to go up. So maybe within that time there'll be some new news that comes up. But I just wanted to make a follow-up to this because mainly after seeing the fight and everything, I was like, oh, like this makes a whole lot of sense. You know what I mean? And hopefully you guys can like actually look at it with looking at the receipts and being like, oh, okay, well, there's obviously a whole lot of parts to this story that are missing. And this is where it sucks for people to have these serious allegations against them. And you know what's crazy, y'all? I'm just letting you guys know, this is how you know I'm an objective ass bitch. I've said it time and time again. I don't like Louis. I don't know why he's kind of... I don't know, he's always got on my nerves. And I feel like, y'all, when I had like some shit go down with like a Morphe situation, I was like, like he could have handled the situation different. Cause I was like, I had no beef with you. I don't know why you're acting like I got beef with you. My beef was with Morphe, not with you. You know what I mean? So ever since then, he's always just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Cause I was like, I could kind of see like he, you know, give me a little fake vibes, if I'm being honest. So I'm being objective here and just obviously looking at all the facts and giving my opinion. Make sure you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about everything. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, Girl Scout.